There will be no sellout crowd to greet the Celtics Saturday in Atlanta. They will look up at thousands of empty seats in Phillips Arena, a far cry from Thursday in the Garden when a full house stood for long stretches as the home team came back to defeat Golden State. What inspiration they draw from beyond the court will be via the numerous New England transplants that will attend and, if the circumstances are right, drown out the Hawks supporters. Mainly, if the Celts want to run the winning streak to 15, they're going to have to dig deeper inside for motivation against the 312 Atlantans. The presence of national television cameras and the defending champion Warriors will not be there to raise their RPM. The same will be the case Monday when the Celtics roll into Dallas to face a Maverick group floundering at the bottom of the Western Conference, and even to a degree next Wednesday when the C's conclude the trip in Miami. And while the odds state the Celtics will be significantly favored in all three games, these are eminently losable outings, as well. Really. Heck, it was just a week ago Monday that the Celts escaped Atlanta with a 110,107 win, giving up the most points in their 14-game run. So sloppy were they in that one that Brad Stevens called a timeout 47 seconds into the third quarter to instruct his lads to get their heads out of their hindquarters. Kyrie Irving had a dozen of his 35 points in the fourth quarter to help extricate the C's from their predicament. The scene was similar on October 28 in Miami when Irving scored 9 of his 24 points in the last 202. I thought we were really sloppy at times and didn't make great basketball decisions, said Stevens in a quote that could be cut and pasted into a number of game stories thus far. But I guess we played hard enough and well enough to give ourselves a chance to win, and Kyrie made huge plays at the end, which is kind of how they got past the Warriors on Thursday, right? Irving was matching Steph Curry brick for brick, but he got to the lane and to the free throw line late as the Celts completed the trip back from a 17-point deficit. The common denominator for the C's has been that at some point they will have a run sparked by defensive pressure. They had actually been pretty bad on that end in the first half against Golden State, surrendering a number of backdoor layups and allowing the Warriors some wide-open looks from distance. But the visitors, as evidenced by Curry, were in the midst of an off night from the floor. You can say the Celtics defense had a lot to do with that, but run back the video in your memory bank and tell me how many shots you see the Splash Brothers hitting in the face of defenders occupying the same shadow. Jaylen Brown finally gave the C's some offense in the third quarter to complement the attack dog work of Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier and others, and it again became a game when it was starting to appear as if the Warriors were flexing their defending champion muscles on the way to another dispatching of a pretender to their throne. It will be interesting to see how Brown plays Saturday evening. His team-high 22 points against Golden State came a night after his best friend passed away, and there was a point earlier in the day where the second-year swingman wasn't even certain he could play. Things will no doubt be emotional again as Brown travels back to his hometown to deal with the Hawks and, more important personally, the fallout from the death of Trevon Steed. Brown will have to deal with the situation if he is to perform for his team. His Twitter handle is at FCHWPO, which stands for faith, consistency and hard work pays off, and he will have to draw on that account to get through this one. On a far more mundane level, the Celtics will have to deal with the relative lack of emotion that comes when you move from a showdown with the Warriors to a game against the Hawks that more adequately is defined by the 1 out of 82 NBA mantra.